So welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at Samsung Galaxy A52 4G version. It is priced around $350 and you can get it at lower price with discounts up to $320 too. Pricing is decent with respect to the package it is offering. Now let's take a look at the box here. I have the official Pakistani retail version here. You can see the phone itself on the box in the color which you buy it. Galaxy A52 is written on the top and Samsung official product for Pakistan is also mentioned with the PTA approval seal, which is very important here in Pakistan. You should definitely always check it before buying. Now let's unbox the Samsung Galaxy A52. You get the phone upfront in this white color that we have here today. Now if we look further in the box, there is a lid up here which contains the SIM ejection pin on the back, and inside we get some manuals and a clear case. It's good that Samsung has provided a clear case out of the box to get started here in Pakistan, because in many international markets the clear case is not provided in the box. It's difficult to find cases right away, so it is good to have some protection right away. Then we have a 15-watt charger out of the box. The phone supports 25-watt charging and Samsung does ship the 25-watt charger with A72, and it is a bit weird that they don't ship the 25-watt charger with A52. They should have given the 25-watt charger here too. Then we have a USB Type-C cable. I didn't like its length, to be honest. It's very short in comparison with the other cables in market, but thankfully we are getting these things in the box at least. Now if we take a look at the phone itself, some key specifications are mentioned here. Infinity O display, 64 megapixel quad camera setup with optical image stabilization and IP67 water and dust resistance. We'll come back to the specs later. Let's take a look at this awesome white color. The back of this phone is in this matte finish on this plastic material. Frame is also plastic. You can choose between 4 colors which are white, black, blue and violet. I really like what Samsung has done to make this plastic back look and feel premium. Plus the white color looks very clean and minimal. Now let's take a look at the camera setup. On the back there is a 64 megapixel main wide angle with 12 megapixel ultra wide and two 5 megapixel macro and depth sensors. The main thing here is that the 64 megapixel main sensor has optical image stabilization. If we take a look at the sides, on the right side we have the power button and the volume buttons. Then on the top we have a secondary mic and SIM card tray. On the bottom we have a USB Type-C port, a speaker grill, mic and a 3.5mm headphone jack. And to the left side is clean. The A52 has a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED 90Hz screen which can go up to 800 nits of peak brightness. As it is an OLED display, it also has always-on display and it is fairly bright with great viewing angles. The display also houses an in-display fingerprint sensor which is very responsive and accurate and can register fingerprints accurately with sweat or water on your fingers. Its animation is a bit laggy and feels sluggish, which Samsung needs to improve. But turning off the animation makes it feel faster. For the performance, we have an 8nm octa-core chipset which has not been specified by Samsung. CPU Z app shows 732G, but it is the real life performance which actually matters. Overall, the chipset handles the 90Hz refresh rate very well without any frame drops here and there in the UI. Scrolling through feeds and the system interface feels very smooth, and Samsung One UI is very well optimized. Speaking of One UI, A52 comes with One UI 3.1 with Android 11 out of the box. Samsung promises 3 years of software and 4 years of security updates. Samsung has recently made its update cycle on mid-range phones a lot faster. So the overall performance of this phone has been great for the daily usage without any lags or stutters. It handles all your apps and games decently, and for a heavy user like me, I really like the performance and the software optimization. In the gaming perspective, performance isn't the best you can get. PUBG can run at 40 FPS and I experienced no frame drops or heating even on extensive periods of gaming. Other games like PES and FIFA Mobile also run smoothly. The Galaxy A52 has 4500 mAh battery inside it, which has performed extremely well in my extensive usage of this phone as a daily driver. As you can see, with heavy usage including social media, browsing and playing games, I got above 9 hours of screen on time, and without gaming you can easily last maybe 1.5 or 2 days without charging your device. So overall, I am pleasantly surprised with its battery performance. I think it is because of the efficient Snapdragon processor and great software optimization by Samsung. For the cameras, we have a 64 megapixel main sensor which can shoot at 1080p at 60 fps and 4K at 30 fps, 12 megapixel ultra wide and two 5 megapixel macro and depth sensors. Here are some camera samples which I took under different lighting conditions. A52 offers a balanced package for every user. Its camera experience is similar to flagships with OIS and features like single take and Snapchat filters built into the camera app. It also has an official IP67 rating, dual stereo speakers, a smooth 90Hz display with a decent enough brightness, and a premium feeling vibration motor that offers tighter haptic feedback better than many mid-rangers in the market. A fresh new design, smooth and balanced daily performance with extremely good battery life. All this at the price of around $350. I think it's a pretty great deal. If we compare it to the Redmi Note 10 Pro, the Redmi Note 10 Pro also comes in at a similar price segment, rather a bit cheaper than the A52. It has a 120Hz AMOLED display, Snapdragon 732G processor and an 108 megapixel main camera. Surely it offers better value for money, but if you look at the user experience both phones offer, in my personal opinion, Samsung software is a lot better than Xiaomi's MIUI, and my experience was full of bugs and ads on my Mi 10T, which I used before the A52. The 108 megapixel sensor is more or less a gimmick as far as the results are concerned. In many comparisons, Samsung's A52 has performed better overall than the Redmi Note 10 Pro. The Redmi Note 10 Pro will offer a bit better gaming performance, but the difference will not be night and day. In my personal opinion, if you like MIUI and want that 33W faster charging and an IR blaster, you can go for the Redmi Note 10 Pro. But if you want to pay premium to Samsung for the IP rating, software experience, haptic feedback, reliability and stability in the performance, you can definitely go for the Samsung Galaxy A52. There are many comparisons that show that Redmi Note 10 Pro has an inconsistent camera setup, and users have also experienced some heating as well as durability issues. So if you pay a bit more for Samsung's A52, I think it will be definitely worth it. I think A52 is on its way to succeed the A51 as the best selling phone of the year, and is a great value for money phone. So yeah, that's been it for this one. See you in the next one soon.